you are not already aware, I have uploaded a video about the NHT Ruthven Tower. However, that particular development is a little bit controversial because persons are saying that the National Housing Trust should not be selling properties for the price range that that property falls in, and they are also saying that the NHT has moved away from its mandate, and as a result that is causing quite a stir, and there's a big row over whether or not the NHT is operating within its mandate. So thank you very much for joining, for those of you who have joined live, and for those of you who will watch delayed, welcome. And for both those who are live and delayed, please go ahead and give the video a thumbs up, as it helps with my YouTube algorithm and helps more people to see the video and find the channel. All right, so I see that some of you are here very early and you are actually talking in the comment section. So before I go any further, I'm going to go ahead and read your comments. Timoy O'Brien, who was here very early, says good evening hosts and subscribers. I see Anne was also here very early and she was saying hello, as well as Sandra Trowers was here early and she's saying ready, steady, go, waiting patiently. All right, so that's awesome. So guys, thank you so much for joining once more. I see quite a few people just joined right now, so I just want to tell you to welcome to my live stream. And this week we are talking about the NHT's controversy, the big saga with the NHT having to do with the Ruthven Tower located in the parish of Kingston and St. Andrew. All right, so firstly we want to have a fulsome discussion on it, so I'm going to give you some background information about the development that is controversial, as well as the NHT, its history, and why this is such a concern to so many persons. If you want to weigh in on the topic, please go ahead and do so in the comment section also, but I'm going to go ahead and give you an overview. I see Hey Jamdan TV has joined and she says hello. She says good evening Kayla and subscribers. All right, that's awesome. All right, so firstly, future millionaires, the NHT's mission statement, according to their website, is improving the quality of life for Jamaicans by facilitating home ownership and community development, particularly among low-income persons. And I'm going to read that again because I think this is where the big controversy lies. I see quite a few persons here. No, Antoinette Determined is saying good evening everyone. I see Tamika Blake is here. She says listening intensely. LMB says good evening everyone. Hi Kayla, thanks in advance for another informative program, and you are most welcome. So as I was saying before, the NHT's mission statement, according to their website, is improving the quality of life of Jamaicans by facilitating home ownership, community development, particularly among low-income persons, right? So if the NHT, if their mission is to provide housing solution and community development, especially for persons who are in the low-income bracket, right? So they are low-income earners. How is it persons want to know that the same trust is selling properties for just under $40 million? Well, by our regular calculation and everything, I know quite a few people who are supposed to be in the middle class, to include myself, who cannot afford this property. So if it is that the NHE is providing housing solution for persons who are in the lower income bracket, how is it that persons in the middle class cannot afford it, but persons who are in the lower, who are low earners, low income earners, how are they going to afford it? That is the $1 million question. And I don't want you to stay quiet. Sound off in the comment section, like the video and comment. I want to see that you are here, and I want to know who is here today also, right? So Jamaicans, especially from the lower and middle class, have been lambasting the trust about the price of the apartment And if you don't know which apartment we're talking about the NHT's Ruthven Tower, which is located in Kingston. So initially, the NHT said that they were going to sell properties at the tower for between 16 million and 22 million Jamaican dollars. So that was when the construction started, probably 2 years ago. That was the time. That was the time that we got those prices. So remember, it was between 16 and 22 million dollars that they said that they would have been selling these properties for. And mind you, some persons who are in the middle class still could not afford between 16 and 22 million. That is just the reality. And sometimes I even wonder if Jamaica has a middle class. Maybe it would be safe to say we have only poor and rich people in Jamaica. It's either you're rich or you're poor. There is no middle ground as far as I am concerned. But anyway, I digress. Let me continue. So they said that they were going to sell the properties for between 16 to 22 million dollars, only to find out now that the properties are ready and are listed. And by the way, if you happen to be watching and you can still afford the between 27.7 million to 37.7 million, if you can still afford it and you are interested in applying, I would have you know that the applications are still open, because the applications are open from November 12 to November 16. So you still have 2 more days to apply if you can afford it. But the issue is not those who can afford it, because frankly speaking, persons who can afford to buy a house for $40 million probably don't need to buy from the NHT, because they could simply buy on the open market because they would be able to afford it. And I quite understand why some persons are up in arms and upset, because if a company or an arm of government, rather, to put it more correctly, says that they want to facilitate home ownership and community development, particularly among low-income persons, if they are selling a 2-bedroom for just under $40 million, then it kind of, there's some questions there. Or as a popular influencer would say, there is a red flag, right? So if they said that they were going to sell for between 16 and 22 million dollars, and now they are selling for between 27.7 and 37.7 million, that means there is an increase in the price of there's an over 70% increase in the cost. So if you were planning to buy this property and now there is an over 70% increase in the cost for these properties, of course this is more than cause for concern. You understand? Cause for concern, rather. This is more than cause for concern. So some persons are outraged by this. So as I said before though, applications open from between the 12th of November to the 16th of November. And if you have not seen the property, I have uploaded a video on the Ruthven Tower. I've done a tour of it and I uploaded the video to my channel. So when the live ends, you can go and watch it and see what we're talking about, right? So there's nothing particularly stellar about this property, and we all are aware by now that properties sell based on their location. We fully understand that. However, there are actually houses selling on the open market that are cheaper than these houses, and I think that is one of the major issues. Plus, in addition to finding, say you want to buy an apartment on the 7th floor, because the prices are based on which floor you purchase on, right? So if you want to buy on the 7th floor, and the NHT gave out this little booklet that tells you everything about the towers, not just this one, but the other one that they'll be doing. They'll be doing 2 other towers, because I think it's 3 phases. So depending on which floor you want to buy on, that is what will drive the cost for that particular unit. So for persons who want to live on the ground floor, that's obviously the cheapest one, and that's starting at 27.7 million, and that's for a 1 bedroom, mind you. So this is a 1 bedroom, 1 bathroom unit for 27.7 million Jamaican dollars from the National Housing Trust, whose mission statement says that they want to provide housing solution and community development, particularly for persons who are from the low income group. So this is what the issue is. So if you wanted your 1 bedroom on the second floor, the price of course will go up, and it will go up to 27.9 million. So the more you go up, the more the cost will go up. Also, if you wanted it on the 4th floor, it's 28.3 million. 5th floor, 28.5 million. 6th floor is 28.7, and the 7th floor is 28.9. So almost $30 million for a 1 bedroom apartment that the NHT is the developer for. So hold on, I see some persons commenting. Let me just see what you are saying, and remember to talk to me in the comment section. I don't want this to be a monologue, although persons can't hear you when you talk, but talk, because I want to know if persons, do you think that persons are correct to be upset, or do you think that it's modern time and the NHT is evolving? Let me know in the comment section. Whatever your view is, tell me in the comment section. So Timoy O'Brien says that the tower was built for the upper class because it is located in the heart of Kingston. All right, Earth Strong is here. Earth Strong says good evening all. Happy to see you, Earth Strong. Welcome. And by the way, if you're watching for the first time, or if you're watching, it's not the first time, but you've never commented on the video for us to welcome you to the Future Millionaires family, go ahead and comment so we can welcome you, okay? Timoy says NHT is using poor people money to benefit themselves, and Karen Keldo is saying it's a big red flag. All right, it's the first I'm seeing Karen Keldo commenting, guys, so go ahead and give her a big welcome in the comment section. Go ahead and welcome Karen Keldo to the Future Millionaires family, and if it is your first time watching, go ahead and comment. One thing about us, when we have new family members, we give them a warm welcome. So if you're new, tell us in the comment section. All right, so yes, as I was saying now, so these are the prices for the 1 bedroom. And if you're just joining and you have no clue what we're talking about this week, we're talking about the NHT's Ruthven Road saga. The prices are extremely high, and we are discussing it, and we are looking at the fact that a lot of Jamaicans are upset because it seems to us as if the NHT is moving away from its original mandate. Obviously, owning a home is almost everyone's dream. Not everyone wants to own a home, but most people aspire to owning a home. And if you are Jamaican, or whether by birth or you live here still, so whether you're born here and you're abroad, or you live here still, more than likely you want to own a home in your country, right? So one of the things that we do look to is the National Housing Trust to help us on that journey to home ownership, and that is by helping us to afford houses by providing the 6.5 million that they provide now at a lower percentage than regular market value, as well as helping us by providing housing solution in the form of actual developments, right? But if the NHT is selling houses for almost $40 million, then I am not sure if we can continue to depend on the NHT to assist us in our pursuit of home ownership. I see some persons speaking in the comment section still. I see everybody telling Karen welcome, and Hey Jam Dan TV as well as Timoy is telling Karen welcome. And Timoy says, welcome Karen, it's a pleasure to have you here. I see RJ Kelly's here who says, big up Oh, keep up the good work, Miss Keane, Sergeant Kelly. Hi, Miss Kelly. Guys, go ahead and say hello to RJ Kelly in the comment section. She's a very, very special person to me. So go ahead and let her feel welcome in the comment section, okay? All right. So yes, let's continue now. So what if you're not interested in a 1-bedroom, but you are interested in a 2-bedroom instead? And I thought it was prudent of me to add also that these 2-bedroom and 1-bedroom apartments that the NHT constructed at Ruthven Road, they do not have like a powder room or a bathroom that your visitors can use. You'll actually have to go into the bedroom to go to the bathroom. And that was one of the things that I observed, and I was quite, taken aback with that, because I was wondering, if I do have a visitor, where does my visitor go to use the bathroom? Because who wants somebody to walk through their bedroom to use the bathroom? And if you're going to be selling a property for just under $40 million, then I'm going to be concerned about all those things. If the property was being sold for $14 million, then fine. Come with all the faults. I would at least say, you know what, it's for $14 million or it's for $16 million that they had initially said that they wanted to sell for. Then I would say, okay, fine. I can work with it because at least it's not that expensive. But for a property that is so expensive, I didn't see anything that was standing out to me as that seemed to work that type of price. And if you watch my video about the Ruthven Tower, you can tell me in the comment section if you think it is worth the cost. So let's pretend that the NHT was not the developer. Do you think it is worth the cost then? Because I don't. All right. So the NHT sent out a statement because of the fact that persons were so upset, and most of them were lambasting the NHT about the cost of this particular property. So the NHT did send out a statement, and I'm going to read a part of the statement shortly, but I see a lot of you are talking in the comment section, so I'm going to read them and provide a response where necessary. I see persons welcoming RJ Kelly. Thank you guys for that. I love that. Earthstrong says, I understand both sides, but I personally think Kingston is prime real estate and higher prices should be expected. All right. Earthstrong. Prince Wilkie says no, and that is in response to if the properties are worth the cost. And Prince Wilkie also says only rich can survive a Jamaica. Chronicles of Thea just joined, and she said good night all. Earthstrong says NHT is also a business looking to turn a profit, and as building costs go up, it is only likely that unit prices would be astronomical. LMB says agreed. However, NHT is still not living up to their mandate. And one of the things that persons were saying about the fact that Kingston is prime real estate and all of that, persons were saying, well, if you can't develop in Kingston NHT, then develop somewhere where people who you claim in your mandate that you are providing especially for them, build somewhere that they can afford to purchase. Then don't build a tower, and it's not as if it's going to be one tower. They're going to be making 2 more of those towers. So you build in an area where persons can afford to buy it and where you can stick to your mandate of providing housing for lower income earners. So that is the conversation. That is what persons are saying. But the NHT provided a response, and as part of the NHT statement, they said that Ruthven Road is only one of their many housing developments, and the Ruthven Tower represents 1% of the housing development in Jamaica that they are building across the island. So yes, NHT is standing resolute and defending the cost for the Ruthven Tower property, and they're defending their action basically because they are saying that Ruthven Road only represents 1% of the housing developments that they have across the island, and they do not think it is unfair that the cost of the property should be what it is. So that's what the Ruthven Road, that's what they are saying, the NHT is saying about the Ruthven Road tower. And I see in the comment section where some of you are saying that you understand that it is prime real estate, Kingston is prime real estate, and you understand why the cost would be so astronomical, while some of you are saying that the NHT should stick to its mandate of providing cheaper, more affordable housing alternatives for Jamaicans, and not just Jamaicans, but for contributors to the NHT. I see one more new comment. Kayla.K.Keane is saying, maybe I need to stop put my money in NHT because they are not for low income earners. And Karen, I must say that is how a lot of persons are feeling now. Timoy O'Brien says, if Kingston is prime location, then building places where people can afford, seeing that we are contributing our money to that organization. And just to add to what Timoy is saying, persons have actually been saying that the NHT should now be not be mandatory, but it should be something that you can choose to contribute to. For example, if it is a case where you are a government worker, then automatically you'll contribute to the NHT because that will be salary deducted. So before you get your pay, that money would already be taken out. So persons are now saying that if that is the case, then maybe you should give us the option of paying because if I'm going to be forced to pay, then you should be providing houses that I can actually afford to buy. And I'm just here to give you the views of persons, what persons have been saying. And I'm actually thinking about going out into the streets and actually getting persons saying whatever it is that they feel, whether they agree with the NHT or they disagree, so that we can really get into the nitty-gritty of this, open up the discussion and see what we can learn from it, see how we can go forward from it, see how we can benefit from it. Because the truth is, this is a conversation that needs to be had. And truth be told also, I thought about it and I said, you know, this is somewhat controversial. Should I talk about it or not? And then I said, you know what? It's something that will eventually affect all of us. So I might as well open up the floor so that we can have a discussion on it. I see you guys are going crazy in the comment section, so I know you're very opinionated about this. Timoy says, oh, Earthstrong says, but NHT have built so many affordable housing schemes outside of Kingston. They are not only catering to the lower income people. Okay, thanks Earthstrong for that comment. And Miss Burrow says, we need to understand that rich people also pay NHT. Timoy O'Brien says, in relation to the 1% of buildings that the NHT is talking about, they are still moving away from their mandate. Kayla.K.Keane says, but that's what they were here for, lower income earners. And Dwight Somers says, great content, Kayla. I'm loving the discussion. Thanks, Dwight, and thank you so much for watching. Earthstrong says, yes, Miss Burrows. And she's responding to Miss Burrows when she says that we have to understand that rich people also pay NHT contribution. LMB says, Kayla.K.Keane, right on that with your last comments. And Karen had said they are moving away from their mandate, basically. So, before we go any further, I notice that I love the way that we're actually having persons who are pro and who are for and against, because we like to have that type of discussion that is not narrow-minded, but persons are free to express themselves. And you guys know that I facilitate that, I entertain that on my channel. So it's not a case where if you have a view that is not the popular view, you have to hide away. No, talk in the comment section and let us appreciate what the other party is saying, so that we can have a better understanding of the topic and we can all benefit from it. Some of the issues that were highlighted also by persons who are a part of this discussion is that people who buy houses that cost $40 million, for the person in the comment section who was saying that rich people contribute to the NHT too, persons who can afford to buy houses that cost $40 million really don't need to buy from the NHT, so they can buy on the open market. And I want you guys to remember, future millionaires, that when you contribute to the NHT, it does not mean that you have to buy an NHT development, but you can use your money, your loan from the NHT to purchase on the open market. So if persons who can afford to buy a $40 million home want a house, then they can simply buy it on the open market, because truth be told, the houses in New Kingston that are close to the Ruthven Tower are basically for the same price, some of them even less than the Ruthven Tower. So truth is, if you want to purchase that particular development, you can purchase other developments because you'll be able to afford it based on the price point. So that's what some persons were saying. Another point that a lot of persons were making is that NHT is a tax on all Jamaicans. So it's like some persons felt that they were taxing those who really can't afford it, and now they're providing properties for the rich. But I just want you to have clarity. The NHT did counter that point by saying that that particular development is just 1% of the developments that they do have, and as a result, most of their other developments provide for persons in lower income earners. Additionally, the NHT did point out that based on their research, and that was a part of the statement that they had put out to respond to the controversy about this particular development, they have said that based on their research, based on the figures that they came up with when they collated data about who their contributors were, they said that there was a market for this type of development, and there are people who are able to afford it, as well as they also said that persons who are going to be able to purchase those properties, they can not only afford it, but they'll be less of a burden, so to speak, because they have money to buy it, so to speak, right? One of the issues that I want to address though, and I want to see how you feel about it, is squatting, because we're always complaining about squatting in Jamaica, and one of the solutions to that was the NHT creating cheaper alternative for persons who can't afford certain properties that cost a lot of money. So the NHT would provide properties that they can afford, and then they would buy these properties to help to solve the issue of squatting. So that's something that we want to talk about. But before we move on to that, let's look at the comment section and see what y'all are saying, because I see the comment section flying up, so I know that you guys are talking away in the comment section. Additionally, if you just joined, we're talking about the NHT Ruthven Tower saga, and if you have not already done so, please remember to give the video a thumbs up. And please remember that this is not a monologue, so I want you to comment in the comment section and let us have a discussion about it. Remember also that all views must contend on this channel, so nobody will get upset if you have an opposing view or a similar view. Whatever it is that you feel about this, feel free to talk in the comment section. All right, so Timoy says, understand Miss Burrows, so they need to change their mandate then. Rich always walk on the poor's back. That's how the world works, and something needs to change. Strong words there. I see Earth Strong is replying now to Karen Keldo and says, as a business, why would they see an opportunity to fill a need and make money and not take it? They are a business looking to make money as well, and there are people who can afford it. So that was Earth Strong. Timoya Brand says, human beings are not the only animals that pay to live on the earth. LOL. Rich people need to leave NHT alone so that other people can have a chance to get a home. Plenty of exclamation there. I see he's quite passionate about his point. LMB says NHT site says we are entrusted with the mission of increasing and enhancing the stock of available housing in Jamaica, as well as providing financial assistance to the most needy of our contributors. Karen Keldo says NHT wasn't for the rich, it was for the low income earners. And Karen Keldo says if the rich can afford it, then they never need NHT. They could just buy on the open market. And LMB says operative word, entrusted. All right, so I love the discussion in the comment section. Remember to give the video a thumbs up if you're just joining, just to bring you up to speed with what we're discussing. We're talking about the NHT, and we're talking in particular about the NHT's Ruthven Tower and the saga that has started since they have announced their price. Remember, initially when the NHT was building that development, they said that they would sell these properties for between 16 million and 22 million Jamaican dollars. However, fast forward to 2021, the development is now complete. This is actually, the applications for that development is actually open now, and they are now selling instead for 27.7 million to 37.7 million dollars. As a result, there's a saga brewing about that. The NHT has responded. They say that their development, that particular development, is just 1% of all the development that they have across the island. They said that they have done their market research, they have looked at their analytics, they have analyzed their data, and have come up with information that is telling them that persons who are contributors to the NHT are able to afford that price point, and as a result they are providing that particular housing solution for those people who can afford it. However, the issue is the NHT mandate, which does highlight the fact that they try to provide housing solution and community development for lower income earners. So persons are saying that their mandate and their actions are not aligned, and that is what we're talking about this evening. So I have subscribers on my channel who agree that the NHT is correct for pricing the properties the way they did, and then there are some who believe that the NHT should have provided a cheaper alternative. So all views must contend, so I don't mind us agreeing to disagree. I love it. So keep the comments going. All right, so I see I have another comment. This is Karen Kello, who is saying, but Jamaica is just like, and she has 3 dots there. NHT came into existence for low income earners, not the rich. All right, so I see some persons are resolute in their defense of the NHT, and some persons are resolute that the NHT should be providing housing alternative for persons who are from the lower income earner group. So that was what the discussion was about this week. I'm going to try and go into the streets to find out what are the views of regular Jamaicans, how they feel about it, and see if we can come up with any different answers. But one of the things that we'll also have to look for now is solutions to the housing issue. Because if you are not already aware, we do, in my view, have a housing crisis in Jamaica. And the crisis is that there are some people who it seems as if no matter how hard they work, they simply cannot afford to purchase real estate in this country. And that is quite unfortunate, because there are some persons who are really doing their best, who are really trying hard, and it just seems as if they cannot purchase houses in this country. Berry has apparently just joined, and Berry says, hey, in the comment section. Hello, Berry, welcome. Let me know if you just joined or you were privy to the conversation that we were having earlier. So that's that. I'm very happy that we could talk about it in a civilized way. As I said before, if you can afford to purchase one of these properties, applications for the properties is still open, and I will put a link in the description box so that if you are interested, you can go ahead and purchase one of those properties. Berry just joined, so Berry, you're gonna have to go ahead and watch back the video, watch back the first part so that you can get a gist of what we spoke about today. Earthstrong says, please Kayla, when you go into the streets, kindly go uptown and downtown, don't just do one area. All right, not a problem. I'll definitely do that, because you know I like to have opposing views. If you just have one set of views, it kind of make the discussion really boring. So I will do that definitely, so that we can get the view from a different cross section, different demographies, and so on, different socioeconomic background. All of that is important to having a fulsome conversation and a fulsome discussion. All right, so thank you all so much for joining. Remember, before you go, to give the video a thumbs up. That helps with the YouTube algorithm, and it helps to tell other people about the channel. Share the video with someone else also, and most importantly, if you have not subscribed, go ahead and subscribe. So that's all from me this evening. We spoke about the NHT Ruthven Tower saga, and you gave me your views on it. Some of you are resolute in your defense, and some of you are equally resolute in your disagreement. LMB says, go into the market and get real raw views. All right, LMB, I'll do that. So I do want a view, different views rather, from different cross section of the island and of Kingston, because this development in particular is in Kingston, and you guys do know that the NHT sells properties to persons who are close, living close or working close to the location that they develop. Well, some persons would say we cannot be too sure about that, now that it seems as if they are moving away from their mandate. But as they said in their statement, this development is just 1% of the properties that the housing solutions that they have across the island. So those are the views of the NHT, my subscribers and regular Jamaicans. Thank you so much for watching this live. I'll see you again next week, same place, same time, 6 p.m. here on my channel. Remember to like, comment, subscribe, and until next time, remain financially literate as we pursue properties together. Good evening, or good night, or good morning, whenever